Good evening, guys. So, this will be the third class we are holding on this Python programming. So, since the time we have started this class, I believe we have been enjoying all the classes. So, we continue from where we stopped yesterday. So, let me quickly share my screen now. So, let me share my Jupyter notebook. Don't forget, you can use any words, any ID you like. So just make sure you do what? You do everything properly. So you run your code. Once your code is correct, so irrespective of the ID you are using, so definitely you will have your results. So let's quickly jump into the work. So we stopped here yesterday. We can see how we can assign what? Different values to different variables. We said x, y, z is 100, 200, 300. That means, respectively, the first value will go for the first variable, the second value, 200, will go for the second variable, which is y, and the third value, which is 300, will go for the third variable, which is z. And we are printing everything. So look at this simple arithmetic operator. So when we have x is 3, y is 15, and z is x plus y, that means we are assigning the sum of x and y to z. So we now print the value of z, okay? So let me continue. So now, in any programming language, we have different ways that we do what? That we do assign our variables. Okay, I think Emmanuel has joined me. Emmanuel, are you there? Emmanuel, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Okay, good evening, Emmanuel. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, sir.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying that we stopped here yesterday. So we stopped here yesterday. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. I can see your screen, sir. I'll be able to talk to you for a while now.
We have.
On the road.
What do you say?
I said I can see your screen, but I won't be able to talk. I'm currently on the road.
Okay.
Give me like just 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Make it snappy, be fast. I will wait for you. Or can I still continue explaining?
Sir, you can continue explaining.
Okay, so I said yesterday we stopped here. X, y, z is 100, 200, 300. That is, respectively, 100 will go for the first variable, which is x, and the second value, 200, will go for the next variable, which is y, and the third value, which is 300, will go for the third variable, which is z. So now, look at this simple arithmetic. I said x is 3. I'm assigning 3 to x. I'm assigning 15 to y. Then I am now assigning the addition of x and y to z. Then I'm printing z. So that means z will give me what? 3 plus 15, which is what? Are you there, Emmanuel?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. You asked me a question, right, sir?
Yes, I said I assign 3 to x, I assign 15 to y, then I assign the addition of x and y to z, then I'm printing z. So that's simple mathematics. That means z will give us what? That's 18, Abi?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Now, let's move on to the wrong ways of naming variables. You know, in programming, some people do name their variables in a very wrong way. So these are the wrong ways that people can what? Name their variables. Number one, you must not have space between all the words. You must not have space between all the words. So what I'm saying in essence is that, look at this one, my space name. If you now say print my space name, is going to give you an error. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Good. Likewise, look at the second one. You must not say my val. In fact, let me run one for you to see. Let me run it one by one. Let me comment this one first so that we see how the thing will work. So let me say print my name. Then after that, print my val. So now let me comment these two. We'll be checking it one by one. So if I say print my name, can you see the error? Invalid what? Syntax. Can you see it? Can you see it? Olawale, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear, but I'm new to this. I'm not able to watch the videos.
Hello. Okay, you are not able to watch the videos, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not able to watch videos.
Why? Why haven't you watched it? I think I said you should watch it so that we'll be able to continue from where we stopped, so that there won't be any delay. Supposed to have watched it.
I will watch it. I will watch it. I will go back to watch it. Just continue with the class, sir.
So no problem. So that's what I wanted to say. But you can still hold on. Just be looking at what we are doing. Okay.
Okay, sir. I will, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. So now, Manuel, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now look at this. Can you see this thing is giving us invalid syntax, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Olawale, are you there?
I'm here, sir. I'm here, sir. I'm here, sir.
So, yeah, listen to this explanation also. Very important, because I just started fully yesterday. Okay. So this thing also is important, so you can listen to it. So these are the wrong ways of naming variables in Python. You cannot name your variables like this. You now say my space name. So the interpreter will not accept that from you. It will throw an error. And that is why we are having this invalid syntax. So let me now return it back. Let me put comments there. Then look at this hashtag. What do we normally use it for? Just for Olawale. So we use hashtag to do comments, to comment something. That is, when we don't want something to be printed, then we use hashtag. We put hashtag there to show the interpreter that this thing is a comment. So that is the function of the hashtag we are putting there. So now, let me continue. Look at the second one, minus -5 is equal to 21. If you check this even very well, that is a subtraction sign, okay? Am I communicating?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So interpreter will see this even as a subtraction, but it's expecting you to put something like, maybe something like 3 minus 4, or 2 minus 3, or 7 minus 2, or 5. So it's expecting integer or float, but instead you are now saying my minus 5. So it will be confused. So it will not understand what you are saying. So that means you cannot name variable like this. Can you see? Cannot assign to operator. Can you see the error now? So that means you cannot name your variable like this. You have to be aware of that. So you cannot name your variable like that. So another one, look at 2 my val. Can you see? I mean, 2 val is equal to 45. I'm now saying print 2 val. Let me run it. Can you see? Invalid syntax. That means you cannot start naming your variable with value. You cannot start naming your variable with value. You have to take note of all these things. So that's why I say the wrong ways of naming variables in Python. I believe you are with me, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So let me now move on to the correct way of naming variables. Correct ways. Can you see correct ways of naming variables in Python? Number one, I can say my val, can you see I am joining it? There's no space between, can you see? So let me remove the space now. I just added the space, but let me remove it. That means there mustn't be space between the two. So my val, you will join them together. So my val is equal to 20. Then look at the next one. I want you to observe this one very well, this variable. My new name for now. Can you see? That means even if you want to name your variable, it can be very long. There's no any crime in that. So even the way I said my name for now, can you see, is David Dancing. Then I want you to observe this thing very well. I am joining many words together. How many words am I joining here? One, my. New is another word. Name is another word. For is another word. Now is another word. So you will observe that the first word has the first letter in small letter. But every other words in that variable, they have what? They have their first letter to be capital. Can you see that? Do you observe that?
Yes, sir.
Good. That is what we call camel case. Can you see? I put it there. I put it as a comment for you to show, for you to see what this type of variable is. So that means that is what we call camel case. So now, look at the second one, my new location. Can you see? The first letter of the first word, capital. The next word, the first letter of the next word, capital. The first letter of the another word, which is location, capital. So that kind of variable, we call it Pascal case. So we have camel case, we have Pascal case of naming variable. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Good. Another way to define this kind of variable, I can say, look at this one, I can say my new, what can I say? Okay, my new laptop. So let me see, my new laptop is equal to Mark. My new laptop is equal to Mark. So can you see? But this is the way I want to define it. I will not say underscore, my underscore new underscore laptop is equal to Mark. That means this way, this is another correct way of naming variable. You can use underscore. Can you see? I am not using hyphen here or subtraction sign. I'm not using it. Instead, I am using underscore. So let me print everything now. Can you see? Print my val. My val is 20. My new name for now, David Dancing. My new location, Ibadan. My underscore new underscore laptop, Mark. Can you see how beautiful the thing is?
Yes, sir. Sir, a question.
Yes, I'm with you.
Sir, for that one that you used underscore, it's not compulsory for you to use a first. It's not compulsory for you to use the first letter as capital, right?
No. It's not compulsory. I can still write it like this. Right. I can say my. In fact, right. I can even write everything like this. My underscore new underscore laptop. I can write it in this way. You understand? So
all right, sir.
Let me copy it. But mind you, the way you have assigned your variable, that is the way you will print it. Though. Nothing must change. Because don't forget that Python is case sensitive, okay?
All right, sir.
So if I run it now, let me make changes. If I run it now, that's mark new. So it is working perfectly now. So are you writing this down?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can quickly write that so that we continue.
All right, sir.
Okay, so now let's move on. So what do we call concatenation in Python? Look at it. What do we call concatenation? Concatenation means this is the way of joining two or more strings together. You know, anything we have inside quotation, that is string. That is either single quotation or double quotation. So anything you have inside it, that is what we call string. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So we are now saying that concatenation means the way of joining two or more strings together. Now, look at this very simple example. Name is Kola, location is Lagos. Now, I want to print now I want you to observe this. My name is, it is under quotation. That is a string. Then plus, that means I can use plus sign. Mind you, the functionality of plus sign here is not to add numbers. It is to join strings. That is to concatenate the strings, to perform what we call concatenation. So plus name. This name is a variable. The variable has been defined, and the value that has been stored here is color. That means that color is a string. That means name is a string. Then plus, can you see? I put comma here, then I am from. That means I am from inside the quotation. It is also a string. Then plus this location. This location is a variable because we did not put quotation there. So it is a variable, and that variable has been defined. Can you see it here? It has been defined, and the value that we stored here in it, in that location, is Lagos. So since Lagos is a string, it made the data type of this location to be string. That means this thing is correct as far as concatenation is concerned. If I run it now, can you see? My name is Kola. I am from Lagos. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, I have two questions.
Oh, yeah.
First things first, when you concatenated the my name is, then concatenation name, they wrote my name is Kola, but if I'm looking at this correctly, I can see that there's a double space in here between the my name is Kola.
Yes, yes. Now look at this. Imagine if I remove that space. Look at what is going to happen. Okay, you said double space, right?
All right. Okay, it's correct now, sir. It looks
okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. So secondly, when you're concatenating that, what do you call it? What is the name of this? Is this quote here? That quote you use for the concatenation of the name. Is it must be a double quote?
Which one? Use a single quote. Which one are you talking about? You mean this double? Is it this my name is?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That I use double quotation, right?
Yes, sir.
No, of course it can be single. I told you. What is the definition? We said this is the way of joining two or more strings. What is a string? A string is anything you have inside a quotation. And what do we have? How many quotations do we have? We have single or double. You remember? You remember what we did yesterday? So that means even if I have it in this form, just single quotation, like this, it will still work. But can you see that? Hello, do you observe something here?
Yes, sir.
Can you see there's no space between is and color? So I can come here and put space there, and I will run it. So everything is fine now. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Wale, are you following me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm following you.
Perfect. So now let's continue from there. So the next thing, I want you to observe this very well. I need your full attention here. Look at this one. Let me clear the output. Let me restart and clear all the outputs so that you know what I'm doing. So clear all the outputs. So just hold on. Okay, fine. All the output have been cleared. Now look at this cell. Name is Kola, age is 24. I want you to observe this thing very well. Print my name is name. So let me remove this. I shouldn't have put this one there so that you will see what I'm doing. So let me remove this. So everything is now, this thing now is like this. It's exactly like this. The only thing that is different is age is 24. Is that not true?
Yes, sir.
So I'm now saying print my name is plus name. Name is Kola. Okay, comma, I am age. That means I am 24 years old. Now, look at this thing very well. What do you think that is going to print out? Anybody?
It will print out. My name is Kola.
Okay.
I am 24 years old now.
Wale, what about you?
Yes, sir. That's what it's going to print out, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let's go there. Let's try it. Brian, can you see? It's not going to print that. It's going to give you an error. Do you know why?
That's true. That's an integer.
Exactly.
I totally forgot.
So,
I totally
this is an
forgot.
integer. And
That's
from
true.
the definition of concatenation, you can only concatenate string. You cannot concatenate
Strings.
an integer. Yes.
Integer.
Look at this. It said can only concatenate str. Str is a string, but not int to str. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now look at this very well.
You convert an integer to a string.
But do you know what's funny? I can solve this thing in two ways. One, I can come back here and put quotation in this 24.
Yes,
That means I will
it
make it a string. Abi?
That's true.
Good.
Yes, sir.
This is correct, right?
Yes.
This is one way. Another way is this. I can say, oh, interpreter, keep quiet. I know what I'm doing, okay? I know this is 24. I know this is an integer, but I am not ready to do what? I am not ready to put this thing in a quotation. I don't want to convert it to string here. But here, I know you, this man, you are an integer. And I know that I cannot concatenate integer. I can only concatenate string. There's no problem. There is concept we call casting.
Casting.
Yes, casting. That means converting of one data type to another. Are you there? Good.
Yes,
so now the only thing I can do here, I can I can cast this integer to a string. I will now say str of age. Good. So that means when you put str of age, what you are telling the interpreter is that, hey, young man, Mr. Interpreter, this age is an integer, but I want you to convert it to a string so that everything will be perfect. It will look exactly the same data type, everything I have here. Then you can continue and perform your concatenation. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes, you're making sense, sir.
All right, so let me run it now. Can you see? Beautiful. The same thing. So to make changes, let me change this to 31. So let me now run it again. Fine, perfect. My name is Kola. I am 31 years old. So I want you to take note of that. That means one way or the other, we have started casting like that. That is converting of one data type to another. You can convert integer, but mind you, if you have, look at this name that is Kola, you cannot convert it to an integer. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, this one is just a sequence of characters. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So you cannot convert that one to string. For instance, I will show you something now. Let's get there. So I want you to observe that. So another way of solving that problem is using comma. You can also use this comma to do concatenation. Hello, it's only Python we can do this. We cannot do that in Java. Java will never accept that from you. An error, never. So we can only use plus to do concatenation in Java. And even in Java, when you want to do your casting, you cannot just cast like this. So we have different ways of doing that in Java. So, but let's continue. This is our own Python class. So let's continue Python. So now, so this is another way of doing the casting. We can just say my name is name, just say comma, then comma this, I am, then comma age, then comma years old. But here, since I'm using comma, I don't want unnecessary spaces to be created. So I can just do this. My name is Kola, comma, then I am 24 years old.
Sorry, question.
What do you say?
A question.
Oh yeah, let's go.
So if you use another ID like PyCharm or Visual Code, can you use a comma to concatenate?
Can you use comma to concatenate?
Yes.
Are you using Visual Studio Code?
I'm just asking a question.
Okay, this is it. I've used PyCharm before, and I've used Jupyter Notebook, and I'm using it now, but I have not tried that comma in Visual Studio Code before. You understand? You know, definitely,
Yes,
as far as ID is concerned, everybody has his own preference. You understand? Like Java now, I use IntelliJ, I use Eclipse for Java. You understand me? If anybody should ask me question on NetBeans, hello?
So I'm listening.
So if anybody should ask me question on NetBeans now, I cannot answer that because I have not used that IDE before for Java. But if it is Eclipse or IntelliJ, I will tell you some things that will run there and some that will not run. So like that Visual Studio Code, if I want to do concatenation there, I always go for this plus. I have not tried comma there before. For instance, you cannot even compare the way Jupyter Notebook is working with the way Visual Studio Code, because I remember, I don't know, maybe I told you yesterday, one of my students, then we are trying to install Anaconda on his system, but we are not able to install it. So eventually, I asked him to install Visual Studio Code, and I asked him to go to the Visual Studio Code extension to install what? Python IntelliSense, so that he will be able to use to run Python code on his system. You understand? And he started doing, in fact, not even only one student, one boy and one girl like that. And they just started. We just observed that some things that we do in Jupyter Notebook, you cannot do it in Visual Studio Code. It will not work. Let me give you an instance. Look at this thing now. If I say x is equal to 10, look at it. If I want to print this thing, I have to say print x. Is that not true?
Yes, sir.
But I don't need to do that in Jupyter Notebook. I can say x. And
it's a print.
Good of you. That thing you can't try that in PyCharm, you can't try it in Visual Studio Code. Of course. I believe you get what I'm saying now.
Yes, sir.
So me personally, I've not tried that of comma for concatenation in even either Visual Studio Code or PyCharm before, because my work does not even go to that stage at all. I use Django. I use Django to build web application. I think I showed you yesterday with Visual Studio Code. You remember, Emmanuel?
Yes,
so,
I remember.
And I don't just do concatenation anyhow. So whenever it is necessary, I use normal plus operator to do my concatenation. I think you are okay with that.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's continue. So we have this. So this one has been printed. Perfect. So this one is good. Wale, are you there? Are you following?
Yes, sir, I'm here. I'm trying my best, sir.
Okay, yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. It's not that serious. It's not difficult, okay? So this is what you are going to do. Make sure you, especially the video that the one we did yesterday, just go there, watch that, the two, because we had 2 sessions yesterday. So I named it as you don't worry, when you get there, when they upload it to YouTube, you will see the first one and the second one. So watch the 2 and follow it. We started from the beginning. You understand? Then if you don't still understand, of course you can always reach out to me. You understand? So you can message me or do anything, then I will attend to you. Then do you have any ID that you are using, Wale?
Sir, I just know of Jupyter.
Okay, Jupyter through Anaconda, right?
I've not been able to install the Jupyter on my system.
Oh, okay.
It's not installing.
All right. What of PyCharm or Visual Studio Code? You don't have any of that?
I have PyCharm on my system. I have PyCharm on my system.
Of course, you can use that. Of course, you can use it. It's okay. Do you understand?
Okay, sir.
Yes, you can use it.
Sir.
So if you still have anything, you can always reach out to me, okay?
Okay, sir. I will, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, yeah, you're welcome. So now, let's continue. Typecasting. So I want you to check this very well. What is the data type of name here?
What is the data type of what, sir?
Name.
Name is a string.
What of val1?
Val1 is also a string.
Val2?
is also a string.
Perfect. Perfect. That's what I want. Now imagine if I want to run this thing now. Can you see? Please, I want you to check this thing very well. Can you see the output? Can you see what it gave
Yes,
me?
sir. Yes, sir.
Aha.
Yes, sir.
What did it do? It concatenated because you see this one as a string. So instead of doing normal addition, 25 plus 15, we are expecting 40. Instead of that, it just gave me 25, 15. Can you see that?
15.
Yes,
sir.
that means interpreter is seeing it. He's seeing both values as what? As strings. So, and it joined them together. And of course, that is very correct. Is that not true?
Yes, sir, it's correct, sir.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Now, instead of that, so I will now copy this. So I've copied the same code and put it here. I now want to tell the interpreter that, see, Mr. Man, I know that val1 is a string and it is a value. Yes. Val2 is a value, but it is a string. Yes. But I know what I'm doing. I want you to convert that val1 to an integer. I want you to convert val2 to an integer. Then after that, I want you to perform the normal arithmetic operation. That is why I'm having print int of val1. Saying int of val1 means you want to cast val1, you want to convert val1 to an integer because it's a string. If you remember that time that I converted integer to string by using str method. You remember?
Yes, sir.
Now I want to use int method to cast val1 to an integer from a string. So plus int of val2. I want to do the same thing. Then I am adding the 2. If I do it now, bam, of course, that's perfect. I will have my normal value, which is 40. Is that beautiful? Is that okay?
Yes, sir, it's okay, sir.
All right. Then, in order to end today's class, so we continue next time, God willing. So among all the data types we have, there is something we call Boolean data type also. This is a data type that does return true or false as its value. Is it that true or what?
False.
Or false, okay? So look at this. If I say print 5 greater than 2, of course, 5 is greater than 2. Is that not true?
Yes, sir.
So that means this one is going to return true. Look at the second statement, print -8 greater than 0. Is -8 greater than, Wale, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wale, are you still in school or you are through?
No, I'm done, sir.
Which course did you study?
Geology, sir.
Geology. Wow, that's Faculty of Science. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yes.
So that means one way or the other, you should have done mathematics before, whether you're 200 level or 100 level.
Yes, sir.
Have you done anything like complex number where you'll be talking about real and imaginary part of a complex number?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's beautiful. So now look at this. Is -8 greater than 0, Wale?
No, sir.
Thank you. -8 is less than 0, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So that means with this statement I wrote here, automatically this guy is going to return false. So if I run it
False.
now, perfect. Number 1, 5 greater than 2, that's true. -8 greater than 0, this is false. That means all these things, that is what we call Boolean value. So true is a Boolean value, false also is a Boolean value. So anything that return either true or false, that is a Boolean value. When we get to all these type of operator like logical operator, bitwise operator, do we understand this thing more? And you will see how we can combine both logical bitwise operators to perform different kind of operations in Python. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
that's beautiful. So look at this one also. I said x is 10. Of course, here, x is an integer. I said y is float. Float of x. What am I doing? I am casting x to a float from an integer. Is that not true?
Yes, sir. That's true, sir.
And I'm saying z is equal to complex of x. That means I am casting 10 from an integer to a complex number. And since we all know that a complex number is in form of x plus, let's say jy or yj or ij or iy, you can see in different textbooks, instead of j, you see I. You see I. In some textbooks, you see j. But Python, the way they have written Python, it's only j that Python can recognize as your imaginary part. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. So I'm trying to, that means I want this guy, seed, to give me result in form of this guy, in form of x plus jy or yj, anyhow. So they are the same. So whether jy or yj, they are the same. So if I run this thing now, let's see the result. Wow, this is beautiful. Print x, x is 10. Print y is 10.0. Why? Because y has casted x into a float. Is that not true?
Yes, sir.
So, and likewise, z, we have casted x to a complex number. And that is why this one is giving us 10 plus 0, j, which is the complex form of this 10. Where 10 is the real part and 0j is the imaginary part. Am I communicating?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me quickly recap what we have just done. So we started from here, from this concat, from here. We started from here. We said the wrong ways of naming variables in Python, all these things. That means you must always avoid all these ways of naming variables. They are very wrong. So interpreter will give you an error. And these are the correct ways of naming variables. So we have this, we have this, we have this, and we have using underscore. Underscore is allowed in naming your variables. Then concatenation. This is the way of joining two or more strings. So, and this is a very beautiful example. We said name is caller, location is Lagos. So let's try and concatenate them by joining all the strings together. My name is this, that is name. Name is a variable. It's going to pick caller and substitute it here. I am from. Location also is a variable, and it pick Lagos and put it here, which is very beautiful also. Then we move on to this guy. When you have age is 31 and you have this caller, and our definition of concatenation is to join two or more strings. That means this age is an integer. You have to cast this to a string by saying str of age. Str is a method. Don't worry. By God's grace, if time permits us, we will get to the classes and objects. That is object-oriented programming in Python, where we'll be talking about constructor, class attributes, class members, instance variable, static variable or class variable, class methods, instance method, static method. So inheritance, maybe single level inheritance or multi-level inheritance or multiple inheritance. We talk about polymorphism. We'll be talking about method overriding, constructor overloading, operator overloading, all those things, all those concepts, and doc typing. All those things are very, very interesting. Because as a Python developer, I told someone yesterday, I think I've told Emmanuel also, irrespective of the areas of application you want to go to, or whatever you want to use Python for as a tool, it's a must for you to understand core Python. And once you have not gotten to object-oriented programming and understand it very well, then you have not understood the core Python. Emmanuel.
Sir.
Have you gotten to object-oriented programming in Python before?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. You have gotten there, right?
Yes, sir.
That's beautiful. So have you worked with access modifier in Python, in object-oriented, like public, protected, and private?
I know I worked with public and private mainly. But you see, sir, I told you earlier, I learned it myself, so I can't say I'm good at it. But yes, I have.
Okay, well, there's no problem. Maybe, probably, maybe separately on WhatsApp, maybe I'll be giving you some questions to try.
It's all right, sir.
All right, so there's no problem about that. So before this guy, we log all of us out. So let's move on. So we talk about typecasting. Name is color, then val1 is done. Yeah, thank God. Don't forget, this place where we are trying to is Wale there?
I'm here, sir.
Okay, perfect. Please, I want you to look at this thing very well. The way we are casting, look at it here. The way we are casting val1 to an integer and val2 to an integer. Name is also a string. You cannot cast that one to an integer. Oh, please take note. That is a sequence of characters. That is not a string of value. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So you cannot cast it to an integer. It's going to give you an error. Okay? So,
all right, sir.
But when we get to string as part of our data type, you will see different kind of beautiful things we can do with string, like maybe string dot upper, dot lower, dot stripe, dot even using slicing and indexing. You will see many beautiful things we can do with these strings. Then we move on to Boolean, and we said that Boolean return true or false. So we give an example: print 5 greater than 2, that's true. Minus 8 greater than 2, that's false. Then we move on to casting, and this is x is 10, y is float of x, z is complex of y, and respectively, the interpreter will convert this integer 10 to all these data type. So we have come to an end of this class. So enjoy yourself. Make sure you practice. See you in the next class. Take care of yourself. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay.